Hey everybody, it's Chris with Kerbal Space Program Career Mode Episode 6, the Munar Rescue Part 2. This was actually a really fun mission for me, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But what has happened is I have landed a Kerbal on the moon. He has not had enough fuel to get back to Kerbin, and then I sent a rescue mission, an unmanned empty capsule to the surface to try to get him back, and that didn't go so well because it tipped over and I could not recover it. We don't have RCS technology yet, and it was dead once it hit the ground. So now I have 9 days left to decide what to do. Actually, I take that back. I have 9 days plus another 11 days to decide what to do because that capsule had 10 days of life support attached to it. So even though it was tipped over on its side, it didn't destroy the life support module. So we're able to use that as a secondary safe haven. Now, what I did here is I sent a larger lander. I have a little bit more technology than I did on the mission with the rescue empty capsule. So I was able to do a couple more things, or build the rocket better and build the lander better. So this is a three-legged rocket. Basically, I used the three rectangular trusses, put three tanks on it with three LV-909s or the Rockamex, I can't remember which. This is all post-commentary. And then, the landing legs. And also I attached, from the Kerbal attachment system, the conduits. And what these do is you can connect different things together with these conduits, and then you can transfer resources in between. So even with this lander, I mean, I probably had enough fuel to get back, but I could only bring back one Kerbal anyway because we only have those one-man pods, and I don't have any other, I don't have any landers or anything like that. So this is just the capsule connected with those three rocket motors and tanks, but I can't take back an extra Kerbal because there's just not enough room on it. So what I did was I brought some life support and I put them on detachable radial decouplers, and I was planning on just leaving them here, but with the Kerbal attachment system, what I liked about it is it was very simple to make to connect all these things together, that I just decided that I would leave them there and make a moon base. And that's basically what this episode turns into. It goes from a rescue mission, or at least to drop off enough life support where I didn't have to hurry back, and it turns into an actual moon base. Now, I have access to the three-man capsule and stuff like that. So what I'll probably end up doing is swapping these guys out. But I'm really waiting for the hitchhiker storage unit, which has you can put 4 Kerbals in it, and then I can drop that down here and use that as a base, a command center base. So that'll be cool. And it's just trying to land this thing in the same spot as the downed capsules is a little bit tricky. This because it's got 3 rocket motors, it's a little bit tough to handle. Sometimes it's tough to fly because it's so, even though it's symmetrical, it's just not optimal. It's a lot easier with one engine than it is with 3. But I get it close, and then we'll get right down there, and then we'll start getting to work in the EVAs. And we're gonna go ahead and do this in a little bit 4 times speed. Once we get down on the ground, and we'll just take it back to normal, and we will kind of put out this base, the structure of this base, and use those Kerbal attachment system parts to get this thing connected. Now, in the future, I will be dropping off, I opened up a whole lot of more parts, and I will be dropping off like a utility. It's basically going to be a probe body with a bunch of parts on it, and it'll make a lander itself, and then we'll land that down, and we'll use that as a utility shack, and then we'll put things down now that we can use to further the base. But it'll be like hooks and pylons and stuff like that, which I've never used. I've never used any of these Kerbal attachment parts. This is all new to me, and I thought that was really cool. It opened up a lot of possibilities, and I just can't wait to explore the options. So now here I am. I'm gonna connect up this downed capsule with the capsule right next to it with this lander, and then I'll connect the lander to the other capsule, and then we can all share resources between them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty out the downed life support and the downed fuel on this one right here, and I'll pump it back into the other one, and then I'll disconnect this one so it doesn't use the I don't know if it matters, but it might use the electricity for the probe body, and I don't want to waste the electricity. I'll also take off the, you can actually take off those solar cells, the single solar cells. You can take those off and move them and put them on other things. So I'll end up moving those and putting them on the lander itself. That may or may not be in this video, I'm not sure, but here we go, just attaching. It's kind of a pain in the ass sometimes because the lander's a lot higher than the Kerbal is, so I have to use the his jetpack to move him around to get to the height of those things. So there it is. That's connected to that lander now, and it shares resources. If I switched over to that, it would actually look like it was just one vessel. It would have all the parts in different stages and everything, but it would pull stats from whatever has the most mass is the one where it would probably center on, because it's like when you have rockets, when you transfer fuel, the one with the most fuel actually gets the camera to be centered on it, and that's basically the same thing that happens here. Because this lander has more mass than the other parts, this becomes the center of the screen, the view. But yeah, so I'm just going to take some parts and connect them, and then we'll take out the resources that we need. So yeah, we're just going to connect this last capsule up to the center, and we've done that. And now we'll go inside, and we can move stuff around if we need to. We can move fuel around. So I'm going to pump fuel from that down capsule to this actual, to the upright one. And then what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up taking off one of those life support cans, and this is basically a test, because what I'm going to try to do is connect that life support can up, and it's going to be on the ground somewhere, and unfortunately it kind of shoots out. I forget, we're on the moon, and there's nothing to stop it, so it kind of goes down the hill a little bit, but it didn't go that far, thankfully. So I'll send my Kerbal over to push it over, and he pushes it back, and then we'll end up connecting that to the to this assembly. And even though it's disconnected and not really part of anything, with that Kerbal attachment system, it actually pulls that as, makes it an actual part connected to this whole system, and then we can pull the life support from that. So it's not a wasted module, and I didn't want to send it that far away, unfortunately, but gives these guys something to do. So right now I'm just setting up the new, what I have now for life support. I'm just setting that alarm, but I end up making it better because I connect that other part. So I'm going to go grab that and bring it back. So yeah, even though that part flew pretty far, it's not bad. It's on the moon. It doesn't weigh that much. It's a fraction of its weight on Kerbal, or on Kerbin, and so we'll get it pushed back up here in no time. Now this is obviously accelerated a little bit. I think it's 3 times speed. But yeah, so we push it over, and we'll get it into the area of that assembly here, and I call it assembly, but it's actually, let's just call it Moonbase Alpha, because that's what it's going to be called when I plant the flag. And we'll use this as a learning experience, as well as hopefully pull some science from it once I figure it out. But now basically with what we have here, we can take a lander and land, and between the fuel from both of those capsule, or one lander and one capsule, we could probably take back off. We'll probably have, we could top off the tank. But I could also put down here, I could put another, I could drop a fuel tank down here and have that. But one of the things that we're going to have to do eventually is figure out power, because even with the solar panels, this uses up power pretty quickly, and we'll need to have a power supply down here in order to keep these Kerbals alive. So that would probably be my next thing. I could either make a lander, I guess, with a bunch of solar arrays, or what I'm really gonna wait for now is just to get to the nuclear reactor and electric generator from the interstellar space pack say that 5 times fast, and we'll use that reactor and electrical combo, and we'll just tie it in. We'll just land it down here as its own part, and then we'll tie it into the system, and we will be able to use that as our power supply. And not that I wanted to have Kerbals parked next to a nuclear reactor. It is what it is, and we'll do that. So basically, that kind of ends the mission. Now, that life support can is now part of the system, so I actually get another, I think that was 80 days or something, whatever it was, and I could drop off those other ones if I wanted to. And what I did do is if I wanted to leave, I would drop those cans, and then that would give life support, enough life support to this capsule that I wouldn't have to worry about it for a couple hundred days. And I ended up leaving this here for now, and I could always drop those cans off, those hex cans full of life support, and just use them, plug them into the system individually, and then I wouldn't have to worry about having to get back here so soon. So yeah, I forgot I took this Kerbal from this capsule and not from the other one because there's not enough room. And I mean, that pretty much ends the mission. So now I turned a failed rescue, or sorry, a failed return into a failed rescue into a moon base. And that Kerbal's doing breakdancing, sliding across the ground. So I guess that's cool. I mean, I'm really psyched that I get to use the Kerbal attachment system. Like I said, I've never used it. I've had it installed. I didn't work with 0.22, but it works with this version now, and I'm kind of psyched to see what I can come up with. But right now, we have a major headache off my plate because I'm able to utilize these life support cans and stuff like that in order to keep this Kerbal alive and well. Now there's 2 down there. So with that, I will end it, and please like, subscribe, comment, check out my other videos, and stay tuned for more. Thanks.